AC 1720, number 8. About 1 to 2 eye widths behind the eye of the hook. We're going to set our thread. We're going to tie in our bead chain eyes. You want to leave enough room, but not too much room, that you can finish this fly off with some dubbing up front. Do figure 8s around the eyes, and then what I call helicopter under the eyes but over the hook shank. Then I'll move towards the back of the hook. I'm going to drop our thread right about the bend of the hook. We're going to come in with a little bit of glue. Touch these eyes so they don't move. I want those guys to stay put. So we're going to take a zonker strip. This is just a black Magnum zonker. You can use Texas cut. You can use regular if you want. I just prefer the Magnum. It's a little bit easier to handle and gives you enough fur to really deal with. This pattern can also be tied in brown, olive, several colors. Just going to imitate a little damselfly. We're just going to secure this towards the back of the hook. There's not really a true science to how long the tail should be. Anywhere from 3/4 to 1 full hook length of tail is what I prefer. And then I'm not going to worry about really cleaning this up too bad. Just get in here and just get it cleaned up best you can. Give you a flat surface to tie the rest of the fly on. I'm not going to put any flash on this fly. I've done the research and trials, and it really doesn't affect how it fishes. So we're going to do a little bit different. We're going to put our rubber legs on next. A lot of people wait till you get to the tie-in point for those. I prefer to tie them in before you get everything in the way. And I'll show you a neat little trick here in a minute how to keep them out of the way. So you get one tied on each leg, one tied on each side. These guys, if you ever dealt with rubber legs, they kind of get a little squirrely on you sometimes. Okay, so we're going to get our rubber legs. Rubber legs are tied in. We're going to bring them towards the front of the hook, and we're just going to clip them in where they're out of our way. We're going to bring our thread back to the back of the hook, back to the bend again. Create a little dubbing loop here. I prefer a dubbing loop on this fly as opposed to really just dubbing it. You can definitely dub it, put the dubbing on the thread and dub it that way. It's just my preference is to do a dubbing loop. It's a little buggier look to it. A little bit easier to control what your actual dubbing is going to look like. I want to come back to the bend of the hook a little bit more with my dubbing loop. Now, we got a dubbing loop secured, so we're going to move it towards the front. I'm going to undo my wraps here, come under my legs, go all the way to the front of the hook, get it tied in at the front. Let my bobbin sit at the front. One thing with dubbing loops is they can get tangled up a little bit. But if you don't have the dubbing on there, you're good to go. Now you can just do a little quick little loop with your thread here and capture your rubber legs and they stay out of your way. So we're going to take our peacock eye stub. I'm just going to pull it apart just to get it a little separated here. We're going to take it, separate our dubbing loop, slide it in, You want to stretch it out a little bit because you don't want everything all up at the top. And then we're going to spin it. Get a nice little rope going. And as you go, just kind of gently pull it out. You can tease it out with your dubbing brush if you want. A little bit of a taper here. And then we're going to just come in and wrap this forward. You got to get a couple wraps before you get dubbing on your fly body, that's fine. We want to kind of taper this forward. We don't want a whole bunch of bulk back at the back. A little bit fatter at the front. Now that we got our up to our legs, we're going to go ahead and undo our thread at the front, come between our legs, straighten up this little leg here that's gotten a little cockeyed with us. And we're going to come in front of our legs, a couple of turns, build up a nice little head here. This gets a good little buggy body on it. Giving a little bit more room up front gives you more dubbing space to make it finish off the fly just a little bit better. Come around, catch your dubbing loop here. I'm not too concerned with my legs right now. I just don't want to cut them. Then trim our thread off from our dubbing loop. Come in and clean up our head. Do a couple of whip finishes here. And we'll tie off. Now we'll come in and adjust our legs. Now I don't like my legs too terribly long. One trick with these legs, if you pull them like this, pull them straight down and stretch them, they're going to cut uneven. So I just grab my legs, slide my hand down to about 1 inch, inch and a half, give a nice little trim, rotate my legs around where I want them, and you can see the finished product. Now, you can tease this out a little bit more, but with the dubbing loop, it gets buggy enough as it is right now. And that is the Unforgiven.